build your brand, just for build your brand. And one of the big questions we get is this offer open forever? Yes.
Hello.
You have the opportunity to get Project Next in a year from now, 6 months from now.
We're listening to
But what we
Dean.
do during these challenges, we create a bundle that you only get during the challenge. Pricing and the payment plan to some killer bonuses. So I'm not going to go through the whole opportunity. I hope you saw it yesterday, but I just want to remind you before we get to Tony, this right here. So pull up this slide. So the Project Next is the umbrella of the immersion, the repetition, the implementation, and the mastery. Okay, you get the digital product system. That is the course that you guys start, the 6-module course with all the pieces like we did, but over 6-7 weeks, not trying to cram it into the weekend. It's the greatest course we've ever created. I can't even express how amazing it is. Again, I love the family that's here. If you're in Project Next, just share what you think of it on a scale of 1 to 10. Does it deliver what you want, deliver what you need? It's truly unbelievable. So you get the digital product system. You get an 8-week on-demand masterclass. These are trainings to help walk you through all the different courses, all the different modules.
I'm looking for my antihistamine.
This pushed it over the edge this year. You get tickets to the launch lab.
And
That's
my
a 3-day
coffee.
event we're doing in January. You get 3 months, not 1 month. This is another one of those things only happening during Build Your Brand. You get 3 months of Mastermind. So if you got a month, now you get 3, so it can be your implementation tool. That's a real value. We didn't price it $19.97 like we did in the past. It's $997, and we did a 6-pay. So you can go to trymastermind.com. If you can pull up that lower third, trymastermind.com. 100% money back guarantee, of course. Can you pull up that lower third?
Koya smoothie.
100% money back guarantee. No questions asked. That's what we do when you're part of this family.
Straw Nana Dream. I got it
we
free.
2 things. One, you get Modeling the Pros. These are interviews Tony did that are just so magical from his platinum group. You get instant access to these. And remember, the gifts, the bonuses, they should be like Christmas presents. Like, the main thing you should do, don't get distracted by the bonuses. The main thing you should do is get into the digital product system and start with Module 1. Let Tony fire you up in Module 1. Let's show you how to identify your dot, narrow it down, have complete confidence in it. Ideal client. Who to serve, how to sell it, how to market. Go through that. Think of the bonuses as like Christmas presents. Like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna see what it's like. What Sarah Blakely. How did she start Spanx and how to get motivation from her? Use those as presents. Make sense? So you don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to do it all at once. Stay with the course. So you get this. You get Jenna Kutcher's Unleashing Your Creativity. Amazing course. Everybody loves this, and I appreciate Jenna for including this. But when I say this opportunity will go away. If you come back in a week from now, you'll see that you could buy Project Next, but you won't get all these bonuses. You won't have the 6-pay. The price won't be exactly the same. That's what we do during these. This is a time to take action. Take uncomfortable action.
I'll tell you what,
to get people
I'm about the food in a minute.
2 extra bonuses that I want to share with you right now. Tony included. Let's go this one first. Tony included his Ultimate Edge. Who's got Ultimate Edge already? One of the greatest. It is considered the #1 personal development course of all time. This is heavy. Not heavy meaning hard to listen to. It is big. These are so many hours. I don't even know how many hours is in the Ultimate Edge. This is the course that changed my life 20 years ago. It's been updated. It's amazing. This is a course that sells on his website for $249. When you guys get enrolled during the Build Your Brand Bootcamp, you get it for free. You'll have instant access to it. And as Tony said, and I think he shares it in his training, that's why I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag. You should be going through the digital product system. And then when you want to get your mindset right, you can go do a little Tony here, a little more Tony. But this is a course you're going to want to go back to for the rest of your life.
I need more creamer.
Amazing. You see why this
vegan
is
creamer.
Play. Also, for those of you that are in VIP, you met Zach and Raph. They're our top coaches. They are amazing trainers. We love these guys. They offered last night, and I'm going to do it with them. They're going to do a 4-week live coaching session with you. So not only do we get everything you have, don't be overwhelmed. You go through the course first. You don't worry about anything else. But they'll do a live training with you to make sure we answer your questions and keep you on track. We just wanted to make this irresistible. If you're not going to get enrolled now, I don't know if there's anything else I can do. So, irresistible offer. I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if you don't say yes. And we'd love to get you enrolled. We'd love to continue. continue to work with you and be with you live each week. So here's what we're going to do. You can go to it's joinprojectnext.com. It's on the
Wolf
screen.
Wolf commented on my post.
Joinprojectnext.com. Bring up the slide.
That must have been the previous post, because Wolf Wolf's not on right now.
That's the whole offer. That's all the things you get. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I think they're going to play a quick video of other people already in the program. Don't go anywhere. Watch this. Watch a few people. Get enrolled. If this is your time, don't go to bed tonight missing out on this. Right? If you love what we're doing, now's your time. Get enrolled. We'll be back in 5 minutes with Mr. Tony Robbins.
The quote on my Chomps turkey stick is, "Even at your worst, you've been the very best." And I have Califia Farms concentrated cold brew coffee, and I'm mixing it with what did I put in that? I put nut pods, almond, and coconut cream or hazelnut flavor, but I didn't have enough, so now I need to look for another one. And I had part of my pizza from last night. I only ate a little bit of the crust, but I ate the mushrooms off of it and the ricotta cheese because I didn't heat it up this morning. I know I shouldn't be chewing and talking at the same time, but I need to take a lactase enzyme for the dairy in the ricotta cheese because it's a soft cheese or I'll get stomach issues later. $997 for Project Next. Well, I'm listening to the information today because I find value in it. I have 2 viewers on my broadcast right now. Hello to the replay viewers as well. I also have a brownie here that I got last night. If I can figure out where I put it. Oh, it's right there. I got a delivery like at midnight of a latte with almond milk. And this pizza and like 10 other items from Go Puff. And there's a code on my social media for a discount. I could put it in here later if I will look for it and add it to the chat later on Haps. If you're tuning in on an app where you can comment and you want to tell me where you're tuning in from, let me check this. I'm going to look at the feature board. Trending board. Oh, Wolfo says hello. And Bear says hello. And Bo says hello. But Bo, what are you doing? And Sweet Potato says hello. And I am on the trending list. I'm at the bottom. No. I'm in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm number 8. Alright. And every person who's listening is valuable. Let me see if I can go back to the page. Okay, how do I close this? This is where I got stuck yesterday because I had too many tabs open and I couldn't find the one that I was broadcasting from. Let me go back. How do I close this tab if I can't find it? Without closing all of them. Let me see. 85 tabs. Alright. If I exit, is it going to exit all the tabs or just this one? I think it will exit the whole thing, so let's not do that. Why does Xfinity keep asking for my password every freaking time I want to, like, how about let's close that tab? We hope that we're committed to keeping you connected. Distance learning to work from home. We get help going virtual. All right. I'm clicking back on this tab to make sure I don't need anything before I close it. I watched all 4 episodes of The Real Housewives, the Beverly Hills reunion last night. I had seen 1.5 before. Now what's going to start to play? Saturday morning songs to chill your... How about, let's pause that. Now what is this? Sofia Samadorova from... Let's pause that. What about this Zoom screen? Blur your virtual background. I don't have the option to do that. Let's pause that. I'm trying to close webinar registration. Eventbrite.
Hey guys, all right, come back to your camera. We got Tony coming up. I know you took a little break. Hey guys, so many of you just got enrolled. Thank you for having faith in us. We can't wait to over deliver. If you're in, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm all in. If you're already part of Project Next, you could say I'm all in as well. But seriously, thank you for faith in us. We will.
There's still too many tabs open. Hold on a minute. I'll get back to your comments. Let me open the comments in another.
Questions. Make sure you get them answered in your.
Maybe
chat.
I'll open them in another browser window.
I can help you because I hate for you to say I don't understand the difference between Mastermind or how long do I get
Let's
Mastermind.
see.
If you have a question, ask it because we'd hate for you to miss out. This is a really special today. This is a really special price.
Let's just go to HAPS and see if I can get it to open by doing that.
Mr. Tony Robbins? I always learn from this guy. He's got an incredible story here. I love the way he
I'm
breaks
still
it
looking
down.
for my
And his voice
antihistamine.
just I'll be sitting here the entire time taking notes. So glad you guys are here. So without any further ado, let's please give it up for Mr. Tony Robbins.
I want to first give a shout out to all of you. I just want you to know the excitement I hear in your voice and what I see in your eyes is what, Dean and I have experienced for me many moons ago, decades, more than 4 decades ago. I know for Dean about 20 years ago. But it's that feeling, guys, that you have when you know you're doing something you love and it's having huge impact. And it's more than you expect, right? It's that moment when you start to catch just some momentum. And to go from, I'm not sure, to, hey, this is what I can do. And it's not perfect, but I also have tools that can guide me there. The tools that, we've never had. What we try to do is give you our wish list. If I could have done, decades ago, gone online, clicked, and been able to do a mastermind and click a moment later and have a course and post it in a place where people could purchase it, I would have died for that. That's what you guys can do in the world we're in today. Even me. My events are, 12, 15,000 people. I have to go rent a stadium, literally. A basketball stadium is usually where we do it. It costs about $3.5 million to put on an event because I do such crazy production. And so we've been doing that for years, getting bigger and bigger. And, I told my team years ago we're going to do 10, 15,000 people. And they looked at me like I was nuts because we're doing 3,000 and 4,000. But with the tools we got, what I love about it is you can test, you can play, you can try different things and find what works because life's not a straight line. You never see a straight line in nature. That's not how life works. It's up and down and around. But if you keep growing, it's always up, right? But you have these learning lessons. The goal is you're accelerating so fast. I think I mentioned to you when we talked on the first day. Dean and I were chatting. And I'm a little bit older than Dean.
All right.
So.
Wait, I'm already live. I don't need to click on that again.
People a message because and your mail wasn't $3 to $4 for each mailer. My God, I don't have $300,000 to $400,000, and today all that is free. A little course with 10 or 12 people, and have a course now that could go to tens of thousands of people, or hundreds of thousands if you can build your brand. It's just as an added value. But the tools are here. Our team has done an amazing job, and if you're unsure, that's what I do. Or you can get the package if you want to go all in. And I hope that there's anything.
Why does it keep doing that?
80% of success is psychology. I've told you 20% is mechanics. strategist, but you can show them some of the strategy, they won't follow through if they don't have the right psychology. And that 10-day program, Ultimate Edge, is psychology, and it's incredibly effective, and it's just like 30
Seriously?
minutes a day. You can listen while you're driving your car. You can listen while you're working out, or you're cleaning. Net time, no extra time, and make this giant jump, and that psychology will get you to follow through. But real quickly today, I would ask you, what is the aspect that will shape your mindset? All the answers are right, but the single most influential element behind your own psychology, and I use the word identity because your success or failure in life is tied to your identity for yourself.
I'm going to mute you for 1 second. I have to blow my nose.
I'm just saying another. And one of the things you're going to learn as you go through our programs together is how to condition your conscious mind so it goes
Are you
deeper.
still?
Your brain doesn't question, because once it just happens, it's like a missile. In the old days, if you pointed a missile at something and your angle missed, you missed the target. But today, we have a brain, and when it moves with the target and follows. Your brain works that way when you learn how to condition it. And the thing that conditions your brain the most is your identity, your definition for yourself. We all have a definition. I'm a winner, I'm a loser. I'm a person of tremendous discipline, I have zero discipline.
I'm going to check my
A
broadcast.
discussion, it affects everything. It affects what you
I'm going to
about,
check
what
my
you
broadcast.
try, what you appreciate, what risk you'll take, how much you succeed or how much you'll fail.
You're getting double sound this way.
Comfort zone.
Maybe I should close one of these.
Take advantage of what you learned here. The only thing about this is like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I'm different, I don't know if I can pull it off. All those are just limited identities. And our beliefs create and our beliefs destroy. And you got to become aware of the beliefs that destroy and just erase them. And here's the truth. Here's the truth. That's what I did with myself and still do, but that's what I did with myself for the first 10 years, basically, I was doing until I trained my nervous system and brain to go, this is who you are and this is what you're going to find a way to do. You may not know how to do it, but you're going to find the way because you're going to keep moving forward. You're going to keep learning. It's not failure. Learn, grow, adapt, and you're going to get where you want to go. And I got way beyond where I wanted to go, because I just kept on that trajectory of movement. But I had to shift this identity from, oh man, you don't know what to do. You've never done this before. No one in your family's ever succeeded. You guys have no money. We have no money for food. What the hell are you doing having these dreams? But fortunately, I can turn those dreams into action by converting this identity. Anything you attach the words I am to with enough intensity and enough consistency, you will become. And I remember I shared sometimes with people about working as a janitor in these two banks in a place called San Marino, California. It's actually an upscale area. And I lived in this place called Azusa, California, east of LA, in kind of the smog environment. And I went to these buses because I was still in high school, after school, to go about 45 minutes to an hour and 15, depending on the day. And I would take a series of buses to get to these banks. I'd go there clean in the middle of the night from basically 11 o'clock at night till about 2:30 in the morning. And then I'd come home, get on the buses and make my way home and get up on 2 or 3 hours sleep and go to school. And I can remember this one day when I cleaned up all these, these two banks, and I went out and I sat at the bus stop forever, 2:30, 3:30. I'm starting to get worried. This man pulls over and goes, dude, don't you know there's identity. Because your identity is shaped by getting yourself to do things. If you've ever been to one of my seminars, I have people break wood karate style, or have them, cross the fire, or my small leadership groups, we do skydiving, or we've gone shark diving, in a cage with great whites coming at you. Sounds crazy. But when you make yourself do something that's beyond what you think you're capable of, you cross the fire, you break the wood, whatever, your brain goes, if I could do this, what else can I get myself to do? And on that day, I had no way home. And so I ran. No bullshit. I'd never run 3 miles. I had a little gut on me. And I ran 13 and a half miles. I know exactly the route I did it, but the whole way I did it was with just pure will. It was like every day in every way I'm getting stronger and stronger every day. I was like programming mine. I will not be denied. I will not stop. And I would just shout this over and over. I literally trained my nervous system for hour after hour after hour to do something that my brain thought would be totally impossible. And that same drive, and quite honestly, it started with a little anger initially, like, I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe my mom shoved my father out and me out. And then the anger disappeared and it just became pure drive and hunger and will and commitment.
Oh,
Jesus. That
Jesus.
identity is still with me today. And I built a kind of an incantation for myself before I would go get on stage in my little tiny groups back then, which, I was spending fortunes trying to market, no target marketing in those days, rent the hotel, do all this stuff and then show up and find 7 people there like I shared with you the first day here when there's supposed to be 500. But I'm still going to give my all. That's how I built the identity, just deliver it all. But that set of experiences trained me. Because think of it this way, if you don't train your brain for your identity, you're going to accept whatever life is giving you. It's kind of like, it's like a thermostat. If I set the thermostat in the room at 68 degrees, and 68 degrees represents your identity, your comfort zone. It's not your goal. It's not who you want to be. It's what you're used to. And so 68 degrees can be a metaphor for how much money you're used to earning. You want to make, $1 million or 10,000 a month or whatever the number is, but you're making, 50,000 a year, 4,500 a month or whatever it is, and that's what you're used to. There's what you want and there's what you're used to. Your identity. And here's what I'll tell you. The strongest force in the human personality.
Sorry for the noise.
To stay consistent with how you define yourself.
I got a French vanilla creamer.
It's a lot of words, but if you're willing to. The strongest force in the human personality, the strongest force in your personality and mine, strongest force in human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves, to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Now, what the hell does that mean? It means if you think you're a winner, you will find a way to win. If you think you're a loser, you'll find a way to lose unless you shift that identity. That's why people can go to seminars or courses, and I always start with, we're going to get you to do things that break up your identity. Dean and I, we're all saying, we got to get people this week. If we're going to add real value, it's beyond what we're teaching them. We got to get them to do some uncomfortable things. And it's not that hard. It's mostly in our head. It's our fear. It's our uncertainty. And so the bottom line is, if you want to have a strong result, you got to up your identity. That's everything I do with people. If your identity, for example, if you're someone say, I stopped smoking for 3 days, and I always say to them, why, or drinking or whatever, I'll say, why are you counting? Because you want to know how many days you are so you can tell people how long you lasted this time? Because there's a big difference between somebody who's trying to stop smoking and somebody who actually does. The difference is identity. If you stop smoking, I don't know, can't see you all. I see some of you there on Zoom. How many of you used to smoke? Any of you on Zoom out there I could see? And then stopped? Yeah, a few of you there. That's cool. But listen, if you stop smoking, somebody offers you a cigarette, you don't say, they say, would you like a cigarette? You don't say, what brand is it? You go, no, I'm not a smoker. I'm not one of those. When your identity changes, your behavior changes permanently. Your identity changes, your emotions change permanently. And what will change your identity is doing things you've never done before. Over and over, they're uncomfortable, and then you're going to succeed. Push yourself to do things, and don't be afraid of the failure. Be afraid to do it anyway. It's like I said during the first day, people told me, oh man, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like it 90% of the time. I just make myself do it. It's my habit to do it, and then I feel great. There are lots of days when I can't. My back hurts, my throat hurts, and I don't even know what city I'm in. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? But I know what I'm here to serve, and I put myself in the light, and it comes to life. And that is my identity that I always deliver. That's pretty good identity to have, because if you have an identity like that with yourself, and it's sincere, and it's real, and you live it, you'll build a brand. Because brands are not built by advertising today. Brands are built by results. Robins equals results. I get results. I've done it for decades. I'm going to over-deliver. I'm going to add more value than they could ever imagine. The number one phrase that people say come out of seminars, if you're one of the people in my seminars, you know I get stopped every day of my life, is you changed my life. I always correct them, go, I didn't do it. I'm glad I helped. You did it. You made the decisions. You pushed through, but I'm so glad I helped. But that's the number one phrase I hear a dozen times a day anywhere go in the world, over-delivering, over-delivering. You build a brand, and this game is over. People reach behind everything else to get to that brand. People push to get to that brand. And the way you build it, first you've got to build your...
Now he's ringing again because they changed the time.
So what are you going to do better than anybody else? Is it the amount you're going to give? Is it the precision you're going to do? Is it going to do something to save some money? Is it something that's going to save them pain? What do you have passion for that you know you can deliver? Or what is someone else doing that you can take what they learn and take it through this vehicle and help them get a message out and be their partner and profit and an impact? So, with that, by the way, go back to that thermostat metaphor. If we set it for 68 degrees, and that's your comfort zone financially, what you're used to, you want more, but it's what you're used to, it's your identity. If that's how much intimacy you're used to in a loving relationship, or that's how close you feel to your creator, by whatever definition you have of your creator, or that's how strong you feel physically, you want to be stronger, you want to be more fit, but this is your comfort zone. It rarely changes without some form of massive action and discomfort. It's the only way it's going to change. And by the way, once it changes, the game can change completely. But watch this. Have you ever had a certain comfort zone? And then something happens, and it's not as good as it should be. Like your life, physically, you feel, you're fresh. I can't spend another day in these fat clothes, right? Or I can't take another day like this in this relationship. I can't take another day struggling financially. And finally, one day you go, it's over. I'm changing this business, my life, my relationship, my job, whatever. How many of you have done this? Those I can see. How many have had a day when you finally hit a threshold to no more and you effing changed and never went back? Let me see your hands. I'm seeing tons of you. And those on Facebook, maybe you can type it in so we can see. So most of us had that experience. That's a day when your thermostat, you were so below your comfort zone that the heaters kicked on. The thermostat said, hey, you got down here to 62 degrees. You're not a 62 degree, you're a 68 degree. And you feel this drive, discomfort to make things better. And you fight, and you get back to where you think you belong. But you know what most people don't know? It happens on the other side too. If you get back to where you want to be, you don't get used to it. You push yourself to take action, you break through, and you grow, and you grow, and you grow, and you grow. And pretty soon you've grown up to 99 degrees. And then your brain goes, hey, who the hell do you think you are? You're a 68 degree. What are you doing up here at 99? Get your butt back there. And you know what happens? You lose your drive. Now, you think about it instead of doing it. You tell yourself you'll do it later. If you're in sales, you go shopping instead of selling, right? You made all this money and now it crunches back down. It's almost like the air conditioners kick on to bring you back to where you think you deserve to be subconsciously, 68 degrees. Or if the heaters aren't enough, the air conditioner kick on, you start to sabotage. Who here has ever gotten on the verge of what you really want to do in your business, or your finances, or relationship, and then you screwed it up? You said something, you did something after you said you did it. Go, why'd I do that? Who's done this before? Raise your hand so I can see if you've done it before. Quite a few of you. Some of you are not raising your hand. You probably lie about other things too. Come on. We've all done it. Because identity plays that strong a role. And identity, here's what you want to write down, one word or two words. Identity influences. Identity influences everything. It influences the way you think, the way you feel, what you're willing to do or not do. It shapes it all. So if you're not doing it, it's time to expand your identity. What we thought is we could give you our insights of what we've lived and the insights of some of the people that we know, and we could show you how to do it. Momentum is what changes a basketball game. You know, one returns winning if somebody does something, and momentum changes and the game changes. My life is about creating momentum for people. Because you have all the power in you. You just need momentum to discover your higher identity, not the one you've gotten used to. Make sense? And so what you got to do is take actions that continue to make you uncomfortable until you get result. And pretty soon your brain goes, no, my identity's not 68 degrees, it's 99 degrees. And then it's 105. And before you know it, you go 1,000 degrees. I didn't even know 1,000 degrees even existed. Our lives are the result of not just self-education, educating ourselves, but then finding answers for ourselves and saying, man, if I went through this, there's millions of other people. How do we help them? How do I take the pain I've been through and avoid other people having to suffer? How can I do that? Oh my God, and if I can do that in a structural way, I can do it full time. I can make it my business. I can prosper for my family and for my philanthropy while I'm making a difference every day of my life. So that's what this game is about. Build an identity, and if you have it within yourself, you will then behave in a way that will build a brand people can count on, a brand that over delivers. And by the way, you guys can test prices on this. Some of you are charging way more than I do. I got much longer, more intensive programs. So either you're charging too much or I'm charging too little. But that's for you to figure out. But the cool thing is you can figure all this out. But I will tell you this. There's no for adding value. There's no replacement for doing more for others than anybody else is in your category. And if you keep pursuing giving, you're not going to have to worry about receiving. And by the way, just a reminder, think of it in business. Brand is everything. People will do whatever it takes to get to a brand. When you're a brand as an entertainer, people want to watch. When you're a brand as a teacher, people want to learn from you. This is the opportunity of your lifetime to really build that. And, you know, it might take longer than you think, but I can promise you it'll be a lot less than any other time in human history. Because if you can hit the button of added value, a mass number of people through social media will start talking about it. And pretty soon, you're going to have an opportunity. And also, it's the cheapest place to ever do it before. I mean, you can do this all online. It's mind-boggling even to me. I hope you go to the next step, whatever that is for you to take advantage and go forward. But again, just a reminder of the power of brand. Let me go test. So if I said to you, I want you to write it down, wherever you are, just write it down so you don't just think it in your head. Think of a powerful brand for fast foods, a big fast food fast food company, first one you think of, right? A large fast food company. And think secondly of the first potato there would be is either Burger King, Wendy's, or Taco Bell. Those are the three that follow in most cases. But pretty amazing that when somebody thinks of a category, they think of it. What's the potato chip company you thought of? Throw it up on the screen. Let's see if you picked the same one. And we have people from all over the world on here, not just the U.S. How many think Lay's potato chip? Raise your hand. Look at this. About 75% of the people I'm seeing here on Zoom. And the second choices there are what? Way down on the bottom are Ruffles and Kettle Chips. But their brand percentage is tiny, less than 5 or 10%. And this one's, most of you can predict on this one, search engine. How many do you pick Bing? And not a single person is raising their hand on the group that I'm looking at on Bing. It's Google, baby. In fact, Google's turned into a verb. Google it. How do you think Yahoo feels about that when Yahoo was the dominant people in search? But they didn't keep innovating. And the Google boys did. And they dominate the marketplace. More than 97% of the people when they search go to Google. Is that a slight advantage? So I'm telling you, you can build it. But what's it going to take? Let me give 5 quick things. Jot them down real fast because I got to keep my time up here. I think I've gone over already. So number 1, if you're going to experience the power of being a brand, number 1 thing you got to do is just understand the true power of identity or brand to affect your life. Because your brand is the identity people have for you. You got to have a strong enough identity within yourself to make it happen. So understand the true power of your identity or brand and know that it affects everything. It affects the way you think, feel, and interact, but it also affects the way your customers or potential customers think and feel. And if you got a strong enough brand, people see themselves as your client, not your customer. Customers go away, clients stay. Second, if you're going to build a brand, you need to identify and articulate your competitive advantage. So whenever I talk to people in business, I'll say to them, I'll usually do it spontaneously when they're not ready. Tell me what your company is. Tell me what you do. They tell me. And then I say to them always the same question. Why should I buy from you versus someone else in your industry? I think most people answer. They pull back for a second. They go, well, we really give great service. And I'll look at them and say, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm going to be your friend. But everybody says they give good service. That is not a unique situation. You don't give good service today, you're out of business. So you got to practice. And if we have time right now, I know you guys have got to go on time, but I'd ask you when we finish this workshop today, right now, in the next few minutes, I really ask you to stop and just, first of all, think about how important it would be to build a brand. And what if it took you a year or 2 or 3 to build a brand? But then people are coming to you. You're not going to how do you build a brand? That has so much value that the word gets out. In our marketplace, just like on Amazon, there'll be a recommendation engine because people who buy often from one person, they go, look, Brian, everybody's buying from Brian. Well, it'll recommend Brian, right? It'll reinforce his brand. Same thing with yourself. You'll say, I like this. You'll give ratings to things. But that's true of everything in our lives today, from social media on down. But then you got to practice just writing out. Write out a paragraph. Why should somebody buy from you versus someone else? What do you uniquely bring to the table? What unique gifts? What unique caring? What do you do better than anybody else? What do you guarantee different? Why? If you can't answer why I should buy from you versus someone else, they're not going to buy from you. They're going to buy from someone else who can articulate it better. So identify what people need. If you know, remember last time we were together, I said, know who your ideal client is. Who's the client who will love your product or service? Who's the one who will appreciate it? Who's the client who'll come back and buy more often? Who's the client that will
Let me
refer
check and
people?
make sure the link
And
works.
then what do
Damn
they
it!
really need that I can deliver? And again, you got to build your own identity by pushing yourself.
Sorry.
That's also, by the way, why I recommend you all, I don't care man or woman, you need something to do every day to put yourself in that strong physical state. Like jumping my cold water, a good sprint or run or hard walk, lifting some weights even for 10 minutes, so you train your body and mind to push through limitations. That'll help you build that identity that means I'm going to find a way to succeed, and that'll eventually build your brand as well. But write it, articulate it, answer the question, why should I do business with you versus someone else? And then practice it. That's the third piece here. You got to really practice communicating it congruently. That means in a way where people feel it and they know it's true. They know it's not bullshit. They know it's not hype. And you want to practice within yourself until you own it. Like you really think of all the ways you can help. So when you say what you're doing, it's not like, Jim Rohn used to say to me, Tony, words are like stick pins. You take a stick pin and I can throw it at you, but you barely feel it. But if I take a stick pin and I wire to the back of it a giant iron bar called human emotion, I can throw that stick pin right through your heart, right? And so that's what you got to do. You got to practice feeling, thinking, owning this, and then practice communicating with people. And as you do that over and over again, then you'll be able to start to do it another way on video, wherever else you want. Fourth step, you got to live it. You got to walk your talk. Right? It's kind of like, remember I told you the story about Michael Glickman, the guy that was struggling, in the real estate business, and then all of a sudden, he said his whole life was about, enhancing his community, taking care of the community, selling it. And he's got little or no money, and he goes and he gets private, rental trucks to take away the trash to the dump. I mean, he lived it. It built him a brand overnight. Right? Walk your talk. There's nothing that you can do to promote your identity that's going to be anywhere near as valuable as that people seeing you living it and you walking it and living it congruently. And then the last step, number 5, you got to market it. And that's what we try to show you how to help you to do this here. We got to create an environment which automatically people are coming to look at it, but you can look at every way to market it, every possible way, every aspect from social media to the things that you can do personally, web, all the things that you can do to give people an experience. And my recommendation would be for some of you.
Why does it sound so bad?
It's free.
Let me check it.
Giving people experiences, doing free events. They were expensive back then. Today, you can do them online. It's crazy. But back then, it cost a fortune for a guest event. You don't know what you're going to get as a result of it. But today, you can do a little mini course, a free course, and so people get a taste of it, so there's no risk. The one recommendation to make your brand, besides results, take away the risk. If you can do risk reversal, if you can even say, listen, if you go through my course and it isn't worth it, I'll pay you $100. Somebody go, I couldn't do that, I go broke. You know what? If you're really delivering, you might have one or two idiots or people just being mean or crazy or didn't pay attention who might take advantage, but because you're so certain, it'll build your brand. And people will trust you to give you taste. You have an experience. If they have an experience of you and you deliver, they're going to want more. That's how it works. Our whole life at this stage, everybody has got to be self-educated. Because education produces standard results, which is most people suffer. And all of us in this virtual room around the world have developed through our pain and problems solutions that we can help save other people a lot of pain and problems through. It's like I always said, I'm always looking to compress decades into days. So those are the 5 keys. And all I want to say to you is, I've gone over my time again, is that don't let this opportunity pass. I don't just mean the economics of joining us in some way. Don't let the opportunity to dig into you and find there's some magic there. There's something there of value that you can then share with other people, and then find new ways to make it better and better until you refine something that can help people anywhere in the world while you're sleeping. And then you can start earning doing it too. And the more you add that value, the more value you add, the more people you touch, the more then it can grow, and it can get to the point where it places what you do currently or can dwarf what you do currently. But you have There's no, instant turn on the lights and it happens. That's total BS. Powerful ideas on the final little story. The other day, I saw somebody that triggered my memory about this. So I thought, I want to share this with you when I talk to you today. Years ago, I met a woman named Marva Collins. She was a Chicago school teacher, and this was in the early 90s. And she's a badass lady. I mean, tough as nails lady. And she got her teaching license, and she went to the public school there in Chicago in kind of a very, very tough environment. And she was on fire, like most young teachers are, to say, I'm going to turn these kids' lives around. I'm going to love on them so much. I'm going to make them grow. They're going to be incredible. And she really believed. Her mother raised her with challenges, an African-American woman. And so her mother taught her, don't be a victim. You be a victim and you'll be a victim the rest of your life. She said, there are going to be people unjust and unfair out there, but you can beat it if you keep growing. If you keep growing, if you keep doing things that add value, that produce results, sooner or later.
I'm going to try and check this out.
Isn't that been for anyone who's been successful, from any color, any background, or any gender, from Oprah to the greatest entertainers, business people, it's common denominator. It's the American way. It's the one gift that we have in this country, and now it's spread to Western society all over the world where there's freedom. So, great lady. And so I meet her in conversation. I'm hearing that she's getting amazing results with these kids, second graders. And let me tell you what started out. She goes to her first class, and she comes in before the class. She comes into the teacher's lounge. She told me the story. She said her first day of work, she's on fire. She's going to help these kids. Like a lot of you, right? You can't wait to go to the course. I'm on fire. I'm going to help people. You might have a little hesitancy. She had a little hesitancy. Her hesitancy went away when she made the teacher's lounge. Because in the teacher's lounge, she's talking about, oh my God, I can't wait. I want to turn these kids' lives around. And some of the other teachers, and they're good people, don't get me wrong, but they were frustrated. So they're like, calm down a little bit. These aren't regular kids. And they went through and started giving all the labels. They got learning disabilities. They got behavioral disabilities like you've never seen in your life. And as one woman described, this one kid went in the bathroom in their pants in the second grade and rubbed it all over the walls and gave a finger to her, the teacher. And she listened to all this, and instead of being pulled back, something inside of her pushed forward. I think it was really, she wanted to serve these kids so much. And I really believe, my friends, that no matter where you're starting, the one thing that's made me successful, I know it's true for Dean, is we care. We want someone's life to change. If it's just about us, we wouldn't work so hard. We don't need to at this stage of our life at all. But she really met this woman, Marcia. I was looking in her eyes. She just told me the story. She told me, I got so angry at these teachers. She goes, that's not a problem with the students. It's the teaching method. And she said, all of them are like, you just got to lower your standards or you're just going to be frustrated. And she got really angry. She decided, true story, to teach second graders Shakespeare and Tolstoy. She said, I'm going to challenge these children. They're going to discover who they are and what they're capable of. It's going to shift what? Their identity, their internal brand about who they are. Because right now they think they have no future.
How do I fix the sound?
The teachers echo that they have no future because they're so badly behaved and all these things. She said, I'm going to teach them that. I'm going to teach them what they're capable of. And how did she change their identity? By getting them to do things that they didn't think they could do. And so I go to interview her. By the time I interviewed her, she had her own school, preparatory school that she started, that she was done with the public school. But in the public school, she turned these kids completely around. And I'll tell you how I know it really worked. It wasn't just a story I read about. So I'm with Marva. I go to one of her classrooms, and I say, can I meet some of the students? And I go to this little first grade class, and there's all kinds of kids there, and they're all bouncing around, and they're all having a great time, playful and fun. And so she introduces me. I just said, would you mind if I ask you guys a few questions? I asked Marva, it's okay. She said, yes. So I said, who'd like to volunteer? And a bunch of hands went up. And there was this little African-American boy, and he was really tiny. And he stood up. It's actually a kindergartner. And he stood up, and he said, I said, what's your name? And he said, my name is Talmadge E. Griffin. I am 4 years old, about to be 5. He said, what would you like to know?
High quality. Let's see if that helps.
Presence. I was like, this is amazing. And I said, what's happening? I'm like, oh, what are you learning these days? He said, I'm learning many subjects. What would you like to know? Well, have you read any books recently? He said, several. I said, well, could you name one? He said, of course. The latest book I just finished reading was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. He's 4 years old, about to be 5. And so for a moment, and I thought, you can teach a kid to rehearse something, to tell them what to say and regurgitate. So let me ask him a different angle. So I said, well, can you tell me about that book? I thought he'd say it's about a story about a guy named Lenny and George or something. He goes, the main protagonist is. And so I thought, well, maybe he's been trained, or like, who's the protagonist? He's been trained to teach anything if you really believe in it. But I wonder if he's been trained. So I said to him, what did you
All right, I
learn
think it's better, but I'll check it again later.
And he paused for a long time. Like, forever, about 30 seconds. I said, what did you learn? He says, I'm evaluating. I said, okay. And he said, I noticed in that story that only adults judged other people by the color of the skin. None of the children did that. I said, wow. And he said, I think what I learned from that is I know someday I will be an adult, but I will never forget the lessons of a child. 4 years old. And then I got a little teary-eyed. I'm an emotional guy. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It's just so beautiful to see this little boy owning himself. He looked at me and said, Mr. Robbins, he said, it's okay. I'm very happy that I'm a bright child. And then I asked him the last question. And I think this is the message for you and for me from the fourth. I said, Talmadge, what's the most important lesson that you've learned, I should say, from Mrs. Collins? Again, he thought for a long time, and he said, the most important lesson is that people may have expectations. Society may predict how you're going to turn out, but only I will determine my destiny. And everybody in the class clapped. And I cried just grace tears to see this little boy just about to turn 5, who already understands that life is whatever we make of it. That we can sit here and live in our fear, and we can complain, and we can talk about what everybody else is doing, or COVID, or race relations, or whatever, or we can be part of the solution. We can determine what our destiny will be. And we only do it by massive action, and we only do it by doing things that are uncomfortable. But as we do that more and more, and we get results, our identity grows and grows, and then we get greater results, and then you have this thing called momentum, and then you have something called a brand, and then you have something called the most meaningful life you could imagine. So, from Talmadge G. Griffin to you, remember, society will predict, but only you will determine your destiny, and you'll determine it by the decisions that you make. With that, guys, thank you for a beautiful week. Please, for your benefit, take action. Don't ever leave the moment of making a decision without doing something that commits you to follow through. I've done that most of my life. I grab opportunity by the hair when I didn't have the time, the money, the effort, or the possibility, but it's always been a reward. We don't get rewarded in life for giving up. We get rewarded in life for investing in ourselves and growing. I think I told some of you when I interviewed, I did this book, Money Master the Game. It's become the #1 best-selling book of the century. It's only 20 years old, but the last 20 years, #1 best-selling financial book of the century. And I interviewed all these brilliant people.
I'm not following you. What?
Warren, tell me, what's the best investment you've ever made? I was waiting because I'd done my homework. I knew which company it was bought. And he laughed and smiled. I looked at me, that's what you do. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I invested in Dale Carnegie. I invested in myself. I always tell people the single most important investment is investing in your own skills, your own ability, your own talent, because that's something you're in control of. That's investments out there. If you start with this and you build those abilities, everything else just keeps growing. You said, Tony, I wouldn't be who I am if I hadn't learned how to communicate, how to persuade, how to influence. So, but what influences most? Identity. It influences people before you open your mouth, and you can begin to build that now. So thanks for your time. And remember, society brings Warren Buffett your destiny. And I said, Warren, tell me, what's the best investment you've ever made? I was waiting because I'd done my homework. I knew which company it was. I thought. And he laughed and smiled, looked at me, and goes, that's what you do. That's what you mean. Because I invested in Dale Carnegie. He said, I invested in myself. I always tell people the single most important investment is investing in your own skills, your own ability, your own talent.
Because they're not really who you think they are. And Tony's more of the man behind the scenes than you can imagine. He donates more, does more, works harder, cares more than you would think. And that's from someone telling you behind the curtain, that's who he is. So it's such a privilege and a pleasure to be his partner, to be on this journey with him. And it's so awesome to have you guys here with us and spending the last 2 days and today with us. And I love a couple of the things Tony said, time to expand your identity, right? And time for a higher identity, an identity creates the momentum that leads to your brand, and you need to do the things that you think you can't do. Do the things you think you can't do. And that's why we do a 3-day free training like this. We hope we served you at the highest level. And we hope we earned the opportunity to work together on another level. Because those of you who have already enrolled in Project Next, I saw so many of you just got enrolled. And those of you who get enrolled now know that this is a special offer just for this. And this doesn't have to be the end, right? This is the end, going towards the end of 3 days together. This could be the end of a fun runner. This could be just the beginning. Tonight, you could be going through 2 hours of Tony training just in the first module that you can't find any other place.
Wolf wants to
And
check
I
the
love to
sound
say
on his
this,
account.
If not this now, then what? If not now, when? And if not learning from Tony and I, who? If those answers kind of make you feel like, I got to do something, then we'd love this not to be the end. We'd love for you to be a part of Project Next. We hope that we delivered massive value in advance. Again, if you don't decide to join our family, go out and do something. Take this energy, take it and go. But don't try to do it all on your own if you have the opportunity to learn from people who not only care, but have created what I believe is the best course that's ever existed in this space. So if you'd like to be a part of this, this is the time.
It's not letting me sign out of my account, Wolf. Why don't I check it on my account?
JoinProjectNext.com. You see, we included so many great bonuses that are just here, some instant bonuses. I'll put that screen up here in a minute, and we'd love to have you inside and be a part of the family. I know we're giving away our grand prize.
Feedback.
I know VIP, you hang around here.
What if I answer my phone?
Our grand prize winner, little drum roll. Grand prize winner, we're giving away a laptop today. There we go. Look, we actually have a drum roll. Grand prize winner. Look, it's even better now. Grand prize winner is.
Why is there so much feedback?
Thank you for playing full out. Thank you for doing your homework. For answering, for playing full out. My team will reach out to everybody who won.
All right, I'm gonna take my.
Make sure we get that shipped to you. But here's the
Okay.
thing. I hope
Sorry, you guys.
The bigger reward, the bigger prize, the bigger bonus was the capabilities of seeing what's possible. We might have overwhelmed you a little bit. Might have tried to share too much. Thank you for my Project Next family that's already here. But I hope you see it all came from caring. Tony said, how do you grow brand and how do you make it irresistible? Over deliver for people more than expect. Deliver massive value to people. That's how Tony built his brand. It's how I built mine, and I feel great alongside of him, continuing to do that. I hope we delivered massive value during this challenge. If you become a part of Project Next, you're going to see that same thing at every level. So here's what we're going to do. We're coming to an end here. If you're in VIP, stay around. If not, we're going to put up a screen. You got 7 minutes. Here's what I'd love. If you're going to go get this now, go get it and then come back to the chat and let us know you're all in. If you're already in, let us know. Go into the Facebook group and let us, go say hi and meet the new people. And remember, this is how momentum begins. It's usually the uncomfortable action.
I'm going to check the sound here.
And following through that starts all. Next level of life always lives on the other side of the things that you're a little uncomfortable and hesitant from. And ending with
better on
Einstein's
Twitter.
quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If trying it on your own or trying it from somebody that didn't work is not working, or what you're currently doing is not working, then Tony and I would love to be that alternative, to try a new way and guide you to be a part of this incredible industry that's exponentially growing. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for all the beautiful comments. Thank you for those of you like Suzanne and everybody else who shared from their heart. And if nothing else, please take from this weekend that everything is possible. Anything is possible as long as you decide it is. I appreciate you guys so much. Join projectnext.com. We'll be back here in a few minutes with VIP. Everybody else, look forward to seeing you in the program. Go get enrolled and come back and put I'm in. See you guys.
Okay, I think I'm going to be hanging this up now. Thank you for listening to me. All right, let me get this. Why does it say 7:09? All right. Oh, wait. Hello. Andrea Smedley, hello. How are you? Oh, you like the stuffed animals? Those are Bear and Bo. They say thank you. I also have sweet potato. Wait, that's not Bo. That's Bear and Woof Woof. I also have Sweet Potato and Bo. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to say thank you, and then I'm going to